Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope your week has flown by as quickly as mine has, because mine is like gone. So hopefully you have had a really great week. We are here today to tell you all things ORVBDP. And so we're hoping that when you walk away from this session, you will have all the information that you need and be ready to submit your application. So I want to always start by introducing our ORV team. Our new president and CEO, Dr. Frederica Singletary, actually just joined us. Frederica, do you want to hop off mute if you're able to and say hi?
Yes, I absolutely would. I am so glad that all of you are able to join us. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. BDP is by far one of my favorite programs that we offer, and Victoria's Secret is, I don't even have the words to describe how dynamic of a partner they are in making this program possible, as well as our lead facilitator, Alice Frazier. So I hope that you guys dive in deep today, learn more about it, and see the value of joining us for this next cohort. And I look forward to hopefully getting to know more of you soon, if you're able to join us in this 7-month program. Nice to meet you all.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Frederica. And so our fractional CFO is Jackie Jordan, and our fractional CHRO is LaCosta Moore. Our Senior Director of Marketing, Communications, and Engagement is Courtney Martin, and she's on the call and in the chat. And then you are all very familiar with our certification team, led by our Director of Certification and Outreach, Colleen Rudisill, our Certification Manager, Robbie Moore. Our Corporate Engagement Manager is Devin Davis, and then our Administrative Assistant is Morgan McDonald, and our Certification Specialist is Anita Steele. So we are a mighty and ever-growing team who work hard to do all things that you need in terms of certification and your programs and events here at WBENC ORV. I would like to go ahead and give you an overview of our agenda today. So we won't be together too long today, but when you walk away, you will have heard from Victoria's Secret, Chanel Norton-Lee, who's going to be our next speaker. I'm going to share with you an introduction about ORVDP, what it is, how long is it going to take, what does it cost. You'll hear from our lead facilitator, Alice Frazier, and she's going to share with you some really great tips and kind of nitty-gritty pieces of what you're going to get out of the BDP program. I'll walk you through how to apply. We'll answer any questions that you have, and we'll talk about some of our upcoming events that we have here at the organization. And then you'll be right and ready to submit your application. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Chanel Norton-Lee, the Senior Manager of Supplier Inclusion at Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret is the corporate sponsor of the BDP program. Chanel?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. K, for that introduction, and welcome all. I'm so ecstatic just to welcome you all and talk a little bit about Victoria's Secret and our sense of excitement about the business development program. I've been in seat for about 2.5 years now. This is will be my third cohort. Keep me honest, Dr. K, I believe so. Is this the second or third?
This will be the third. You're right.
This will be the third.
Yes.
But one of the things that came out of each one that we have been a part of, and when I say we, because me and Dr. K started around the same time, is that when you walk away from this program, you have a sense of community, you have a sense of sisterhood, and you walk away with so much more than what you could possibly even imagine. I don't think Dr. K or anyone on this call can really go into deep detail of what this program is, but the best way to describe it is transformation. What you may think that you may need when you walk into, that's not what you're going to get when you leave. You're going to get so much more. So I look forward to working with you guys. If you do decide to apply, you're going to walk away with sisterhood. You're going to walk away with knowledge. Our experts here at Victoria's Secret is so ecstatic to meet you all and welcome you with open arms. And you guys can reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or anything. So looking forward to you all and hopefully get to see you in February.
Thank you so much, Chanel. So let me tell you all a little bit about the BDP program. So the BDP program is a 7th month program. It begins in February, so February 2026. The sessions are typically held on the third Thursday of every month. We have a couple of sessions next year that where we'll have to change that date. One conflicts with WBENC Nationals, and then the graduation, we'll be adjusting those dates. But otherwise, it's the third Thursday of every single month that you'll be together. BDP is an in-person program, and it is held at the Reynoldsburg, Ohio campus of Victoria's Secret. And the reason why we specify that is because if you know the Columbus area and you think you know where the Victoria's Secret office is, you're going to end up in the wrong spot, because that's not where we are. So that's why we always specify that. For the program criteria, you need to be a certified WBE. You do not have to be the owner of that business. You can be, that second in command. You can be someone who works for the company. So you, as a CEO, could decide that you want to send some or one or some of your team members through the BDP program as well. The business itself does have to be in business at least 2 years or more, or have comparable business experience, and you need to have a revenue of $500,000 or more. There is a cost associated with this program. It is $1,850. That covers your materials as well as your coaching. Alice is going to go into more depth about your coaching, but I will just give you a sneak preview that you will receive 2 coaches. I know it may sound like a lot, but it's absolutely amazing. So you'll get 1 coach from Victoria's Secret, and then you'll get 1 coach that's assigned by ORV. If you happen to have more than 1 participant that's participating in the program next year, so the first person's $1,850, the second participant will be $1,350. And just to let you know, we do have some payment plans available, so don't let the cost deter you from applying. Definitely still go ahead and apply. For the application submission window, we opened up the applications on November 3rd. They will close on December 8th. Don't wait until the very last minute to submit your application. Don't wait until 3 days after the deadline to submit your application. Go ahead, log onto the website when we finish this call. There is a link there where you can go ahead and download a PDF version of the application, just so that way you can look at it. You can get all your thoughts and everything together, because once you go into the system to submit the application, you can't start it and come back to it later. You'll need to sit down and complete the whole entire application while you're there. But like I said, we do have that PDF document, so that way you can preview and get everything together beforehand. So what to expect? Like I said, it's a 7-month program. You'll get one-on-one monthly coaching with your business advisors. It's interactive workshops, peer learning. We cover growth areas such as leadership, strategy, finance, and scaling. You're going to get networking with fellow WBEs as well as corporate partners. And then we do have a graduation. And with that graduation, you will do some growth plan presentations. You will also be working on your pitch during this session. So every month when you get together, you all will be working on your pitch. And you do also have the opportunity to apply to pitch at Catch the Wave, which we did have a couple of our BDP participants that did that last year. So let's talk about, what are people saying about the BDP program. So these cohort reviews, they came from people who participated last year, and I'm not going to read them verbatim because you ladies can read. But the second one says, after completing a 7-month business development program, I leave this experience empowered, humbled, grateful, and fully charged for the work ahead. Michelle, to answer your question, how many will be accepted into the program? There will be 10 participants accepted into the program this year. And then the last person here says, it just keeps getting better and better. The support, encouragement, and love. Thank you, WBEC ORV. As Chanel said, when you walk into the program, you think you need ABC and 1, 2, 3, and then you get into the middle of the program and you're like, oh, I don't need that at all. I actually need XYZ and elemental P. And I didn't even know that elemental P even existed. And so that's really what it's about. It's not even about walking in and checking all the boxes of, this is what I expected and did I get that from the program, but it's really about opening yourself up to all that the facilitators are bringing, to all that your cohort members are bringing, and allowing yourself to truly grow through this process. I want to play this quick video, and I want to make sure that I want to stop sharing really quickly because I don't think I selected to share my sound. But I want to share this quick video. This is someone who did not participate in the program. However, her CEO did participate in the program, and Katie is going to share what she got from the program.
Hi, I'm Katie Russin, and I'm a program manager at CTM. Even though I wasn't in the sessions myself, I got to experience the ripple effect of the program through Claire. The stories and insights that she shared from her peer group reminded me how impactful it is to learn from others and how energizing it can be to feel a part of a larger community of women business leaders. She used her coursework to spark new conversations, challenge our thinking, and push us to refine how we prepare both ourselves and the business for growth. What started as an individual development opportunity quickly became a team-wide effort, driving alignment and a clearer vision for what's next. We've been deeply inspired by WBENC ORV and by Victoria's Secret & Co., not only in your commitment to supporting diverse suppliers, but in the very tangible ways that you've brought that commitment to life.
This was really great when I heard this because we often hear from our cohort members who participate. But not very often do we see that ripple effect that Courtney's talking about in the chat, right? And so it was amazing to see how Claire, in this case, took the information of what she learned at BDP and how she applied it in her business and how her employees were impacted because of the BDP program. Okay, and so next, Alice Frazier, who's the principal and CEO of AFA Associates, is going to share with you a little bit more about what you can expect and what will happen in the BDP program this year.
Thanks, Dr. K. And that notion about a ripple effect is so powerful because hadn't thought about it. That's exactly what happens. This is what the 11th year of the BDP program. And this program, not only is when it started off being focused on business development, not only is it a way to optimize and strengthen one's organization, it also helps you identify gaps that have now surfaced that you may not have recognized and how to close those gaps, as well as how to refine and accelerate, how to improve your operation or go after a new idea and literally take an idea, take a concept, look at how to position it, look at what to really commit to, what to refine, and then what to launch. And that whole process becomes a 5-module framework that you get to work through over the 7-month journey within ORVBDP. You get to assess where you are, what your strengths are, as well as your weaknesses. Recognize here's where to focus, what you want to do to best position your business, position your operation, and then look at what to commit to from all phases of the business, not only from an operational standpoint, but from a people standpoint, from a talent standpoint, as well as from a customer acquisition standpoint, as well as a customer release standpoint, as some people recognize. Not all business is good business. And when you see that, you can't unsee it. And then you really refine what's next for your organization and launch and level up to what's best. So there was that work that happens within your day-long experience each month, but there's also the work that you get to take and bring to life within your own organization, and then have coaches to help you with that refinement. Coaches from Victoria's Secrets, as well as coaches who happen to be part of the WBENC family, who know what your pain and joys are as a business owner and as a women-owned business operation, and then how to better connect with your clients, which is the invaluable wisdom and insight you get from your Victoria's Secret coaches and mentors. And in doing that heady work, we've now created an online workspace that you can use, that you can disperse to your organization to help get the work done to refine what it is you wish to see for your business in 2026 and beyond. So that's it in the nutshell. And what does that mean in the nutshell? You have impact, impact you love, and impact that ripples down to your bottom line and ripples out to your customers so that they love your organization and value it. Back to you, Dr. K.
Thank you so much. I love this ripple theme. I think that's going to be your theme throughout 2026. I know it. I can feel it. So how to apply? I'm going to drop this link into the chat. You will also receive this recording, and I can send this. You'll have access to this link. This link is everywhere. But you're going to fill out the application on this link. As I mentioned, you can go to this link and you can get you can get a PDF version of the application. So that way you can review everything in advance. And then that way, once you're ready, you can sit down and submit your application. But you'll go to this link and there's a button that says register now. You click the register now button, it takes you right in the application. Super, super simple. It's not 5,000 questions. We're going to ask you about yourself. We're going to ask you about your business. And we're going to talk to you about the commitment, right? The time commitment as well as the financial commitment. And those are things that we've already gone over here. So very, very simple process to be able to complete that application. So I told you we weren't going to be together too long. Before we move forward in this, what questions do you have? We have a small group today, so please feel free to come off camera and just raise your hand and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and your business. And then if you have any questions, we can ask those as well. Hi, Stacy, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Stacey Cunningham, and I'm with Ascension Construction Solutions. And I am working with the president, Gina Handel, and I'm assessing the program for the company for her, and then also for me personally, I guess, because I'm going to help her with marketing and BD. And so I think this program may be invaluable for both of us. So I guess the question is, if you're accepting 10 participants, do you typically or will you accept 2 people from one company?
We wouldn't be opposed to. There's no rule that says it's only one person at a time. So definitely both of you should apply and we'll review the applications. And if both of you are accepted, we welcome having the 2 of you together.
Awesome. Thank
Yes,
you.
of course. I'm looking forward to that. I will say, since Chanel and I have been together, that is one thing we have not had is 2 people from the same
No,
company. So
we have
that might
not.
be a new opportunity for us.
I love that.
Yes. I'm actually, since we have a small group here, just going to kind of call on folks. You don't have to come up with a question, but just want you, like I said, to come off mute. Yes, go ahead. Who did I hear?
Dr. K, before you call on somebody, now that they've been warned, they can have a second, because I am going to offer answers to some questions that they may not be thinking that I think are impactful. I know last year, one of the questions that came up, especially during the interviews with you and I, was what is the time commitment going to look like in terms of homework and different things? So that's the first question I would like you to answer. The second one is a comment that I'll offer. I know sometimes people wonder about the timing of this. Is it the right time? Do I have enough time to be able to do this? And I think that one of the things that everyone has to evaluate as a business owner, or even if you are not the owner, but you are contributing at a high level to the organization, is that your time, of course, has a value, but what happens if you don't make time? Where will your business be positioned if you don't take the opportunity to be intentional and make the investment in yourself so that you can have an opportunity to pour back into your business? And so I know in this season, nothing feels like it's the best time. The climate of things feels ever changing, but I know that one thing I've heard from our graduates is that they never regretted taking the time to spend time on their business. Chanel pointed out the sisterhood of this. And I think that is an intangible that comes a part of it. It's one thing to look at the marketing, it's another thing to look at your operations, but it's another one to be able to lock arms with other women who get it. And that's not something that you do every day. So I offer that to you as you consider applying to the program. But back to my question, Dr. K, what would you say the time commitment is beyond just the in-person once a month?
So I'm actually going to have Alice come off mute and answer that question because she's the one who sets all of your homework.
So, candidly speaking, you're going to be spending about 8 hours working on your business. Those who were strategic and said, I'm taking this time to work on my business, recognize my talent, they got the homework done. But that homework also fused into some real meaningful operation enhancement and business development. So when you look at that amount of time and it translates to a 7-figure amount of incremental business that you hadn't planned for, from a financial standpoint, you're like, to get another $1 million worth of revenue in my business, let alone multi-million, you would spend easily 40, 80 hours a week, 40, 80 hours in a month to go get that. And if you didn't have to do that, but because you're now know how to leverage and be very focused, so to spend 2 hours with your coaches, and I'm going to say it depends upon you. Do you do your homework in 2 to 4 hours? Or do you say, you know what, I'm going to do the homework for a couple of hours, but I'm going to deploy this into my organization so that they are developing. And if that translates into another 4 hours of time, but the return on that investment of time favorably impacts your operation from being more efficient to translating to your bottom line impact. I know that was a long answer, but I want you to think through and go, what's the ROI for that time?
Yeah, that's very true. It's one of those hidden questions where you can't just say you've got 3 hours of homework a night, right? Like this isn't a college course because as you mentioned, and as we saw with cohort members, they were diving in deep and it opened up all of these things that they began to work in their business. Is that considered homework time? Or is that you working in your business, right? And that's really what this is about, is developing your business. So you're going to get out of it what you put into it. That's really the long and short of it.
Yeah, and I want to kind of frame it in those who spent the 8 hours of really and plus, and maybe so, you know, but I wound up spending 2 days. We kind of did a half-hour business development. I did some training and development in my organization, and how they applied it yielded revenue we could have never imagined, because now my team could think on another level on how to improve and enhance and elevate our business. So you said it well, what you put in, you can get a really good ROI.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Perfect. Does anybody else have any more or any questions?
I do.
Yes, go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so multiple questions. Is that okay, guys? Okay,
Sure.
so does it matter what industry you're in to apply?
It does not matter what industry you're in to apply.
Okay, and I guess then excited about the program. I got accepted to Tuck from WBENC. How is this different than that? Just so I can have in my mind how it's different.
I personally am not familiar enough with the Tuck program, so I'd have to look into that, Michelle, to be able to share with you what the differences are between the two programs.
Because you go over
I'm not sure, Alice, if you're familiar at all.
I know of the Tuck program from probably about 7, 8 years ago. Was it the week-long program at Dartmouth?
Yeah, it was.
Do you have an overview of what the curriculum is, or no?
It was just basic overview of the business, but
So let me hear what your takeaways will be out of this program so you can then go do your homework. One, you're going to have monthly pitch development and refinement. So to really work on how you pitch your business and to understand the varying audiences you need to pitch to. You will walk away with a full business plan created if that's what you wish to do and wish to have for either your overall business or for a new, say, piece of business, new product, new offering that you may have. You will strengthen your ability to do financial forecasting assessments. You will also have a roadmap as to how to, on an ongoing basis, optimize business ideas and assess what's viable and what's not viable. You will also have a network of regional individuals to work with. And then you will also have the opportunity to present at the end to your fellow cohort members where you're looking to go after this, as well as have the Victoria's Secrets managed senior leadership team hear your plans for the future and possibly give you some invaluable feedback.
Okay, that's very helpful.
Does that help?
Yes,
And
thank you.
then,
Go ahead.
yeah, you'll also, some of the people that you have, facilitators, you're going to have someone who's marketing. On research side, plan development, this is new. I've identified someone who's got AI leverage, and I'm in the midst of doing that because I'm a marketing strategist by my background.
Okay.
You will also have legal on how to not only form your business, but how to develop and devise your exit strategies. You'll have a financial perspective and treasury perspective. So how to manage capital and then how to track things from a financial management standpoint. You'll also have distribution and sales. So you kind of have like all disciplines and some immersion on a daily, once a month basis.
So the sales, is that dependent on any particular?
It varies. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just a kind of how to approach it and shape your perspective. What industry you're coming from, Michelle?
Marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes people are open to that, sometimes not.
Yeah. Because we're at Victoria's Secrets, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I just
think about it. Anytime you're the consumer packaged goods entity and marketing.
Was going to say that we'll have a marketing executive come in and talk about marketing. And one of the things that we're doing new that the last cohort got a little bit sample into our mock store, but that's also integrated within the program from next year. So you'll be able to get great insight. And if selected through the program, what I do is send out an email to all of the participants to see what they want to get out of it. And if you want to learn more from the marketing perspective, I could definitely link you. Your mentor could be an executive here at Victoria's Secret within your respected space.
That I would appreciate that. Just because, you want it to be as relevant as possible. And this sounds like it is. Sometimes you get in a program and it's not so much. So my last question is, the revenue number, is that a hard number, or is that because, sometimes some businesses are way big and then, they kind of have ebbs and flows in business. Are you guys pretty flexible on that, or is that a hard number?
I would say that we understand that times are changing and that things can happen. And so what I always say is that if you never apply, the answer is always no. If you do apply, then the answer could possibly be yes. So
Okay.
I would not allow that to stop you from applying if that's not where you were last year or where you are this year or something like that. But every application is considered on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Sure. Of course. Thank you.
I have a question. Karen
Yes, go
Sullivan,
ahead, Karen.
Sullivan Solutions. Is that what's the on-site at Victoria's Secret? Is that a full day? Is that 2 hours? What's the time commitment on the third Thursday?
Arrival is at 8:30 in the morning, and we have you wrapping up probably about by 4 o'clock at the very latest. So it's a full day.
It's a full day. Okay, great.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Who else haven't we heard from? Even if you don't have a question, just would love for you to come off mute and introduce yourself. What about Kendra or Brittany? If
Oh,
either one of you want to
oh,
come off. Oh, go ahead, Kendra.
oh. So I'm actually at work, but hello everyone. I am Kendra. I am the CEO of PM Mindset, and I wanted to basically join the meeting just to get a little bit more information about the program itself. But it sounds awesome, and looking forward to filling out the application.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining and for introducing yourself. And I think, what about Brittany? I think you're the last one on here.
Hello, I'm Brittany Hughes. I am the sales administrator at Steinhauser. I guess I just had a quick question about, so I'm trying to get into our sales department and do like outside sales. So I wasn't sure if you guys thought that this would be something that would be helpful to me. And yeah.
Alice, do you want to weigh in there?
I need to come off of mute. If I'm under, what's the industry? Brittany, what company? I missed.
It's called
make sure we-
Steinhauser. We do custom label printing.
Okay. For outside sales and looking at how to position yourself and how to understand we do an exercise on how to understand the customer journey. So there's certain things that we do have that I think would assist you in how to optimize and strengthen your messaging and what you should be focusing on and leveraging for outside sales. So there's a couple of sessions that we have there. The addition that could be of support is when here's where the area you want to focus in, just as Chanel has said for Michelle about tailoring the mentor and the coach that you get from Victoria's Secrets. Not only would you have that type of coach to help you that we would assess, but also looking at from the WBENC coach that we have to make sure that gets addressed so that gap that you've already identified, that you walk away with being able to close that gap and move forward in what you need to do to have a stronger business operation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. One last moment. Are there any other questions? All right, hearing none, I have dropped the application into the chat so you can pull it from there. You will also be receiving a link to the recording to this session, as well as a link to a PDF of the deck, which has the hyperlink to the application there. If you've lost all of those, you can always shoot me an email and I will send you the link to the application that way. I'm sure if you check our social media pages, because I'm sure all of you are following us on our social media pages, you will see the application there. Are you getting the theme right? The application is out there, right? And so take the application, apply, and even more so, share it with other business owners who you know who are WBENC certified, who could qualify to participate in this program. Perhaps you know some people that weren't able to join this call. Being on this call is not a prerequisite for applying for the program. So share it. Let everybody know, hey, I just found out about this really amazing program and I think everybody should apply. Or you may decide you don't want to tell everybody because you want to increase your chances, right? But definitely share the information. As we get ready to wrap up, I just have two more things. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, excuse me. So the one is a brief survey. If you are not watching this from your phone, if you are able to pull out your phone and scan this QR code, and that's just going to give us a little bit of additional information to ensure that when we have sessions like this in the future, that we can tweak them and make changes to them so that way they are even more fantastic than this one is. If you are watching this from your phone or not in the position to be able to scan the QR code now, when you receive that email, that recap email, it will also have the link to the survey there as well. So you can fill it out now or you can fill it out then or later. Either way, we just do ask that you take just a minute or two and fill that out. And then before we let you go, I'd like to share the last few things that we have coming up here as we're rounding out the end of the year. I can't believe it is almost the end of the year. November 12th, we have a virtual WBE Connect for those who are in West Virginia. So if that is you, or if you know some folks in that area, tell them to definitely scan the QR code and go ahead and register for that. On November 19th is our Women of Color, Why Should I Get Certified? So if you know any women of color who are not WBENC certified, this is a really great webinar for them to come and learn all about the WBENC certification, as well as get to know some of the other women of color within our network. We do also have a Becoming a Certified WBE, very similar webinar that takes place on December 4th. And then December 10th, our very last Doing Business with Our Corporates, Doing Business with a Davy Tree Expert Company. This is a great opportunity to come and learn about this company, all that they do, why they're committed to work with businesses like the ones that you all have, and to learn how to maybe navigate their systems, what opportunities they may have coming up in the new year. This webinar series is something that we do throughout the year, and it's definitely one that you'll want to keep your eye on and looking for in 2026. And with that, if no one has any additional questions, I would like to thank you all for joining today, and I look forward to seeing your applications come in soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.